Okay, this is about what make of bowls should I buy, should you buy, or get, or rely upon, etc. Okay, so let's go through this. Um, First of all, there are some, if you like, um, very small makes that I really don't know how good they are. I have no idea. Um, but certainly they're not big in the market. For instance, Slazenger and Cotswold. I don't think they make bowls anymore, but they're second-hand bowls out there, for instance. So I cannot comment on those. But let's go back to the beginning. Composite bowls were made to replace wooden bowls, lignum vitae bowls. And they were pretty accurate. And then a company called R.G. Laurie came along with a new process which made very, very accurate bowls. So they don't exist anymore, where they make bagpipes, as it turns out. Scottish company, of course. They were bought out by Taylor's, which is a Scottish company. And so that's how that goes. So R.G. Laurie bowls are pretty good, to be honest, for most people. So that's one. Next, there are, if you like, the four big bowls manufacturers. So if you look at the competitions, the world competitions, virtually everyone uses one of four makes, which are Henselite, Taylor's, Arrows, or Drake's Pride. So, Drake's Pride are the only English manufacturer. They make a limited range of bowls, shall we say, and they tend to be the cheapest of the top four. And world-class bowlers use them. They are the least used bowls in terms of world-class bowlers. But heck, if you're a world-class bowler, you don't use substandard bowls, do you? But that's where they stand, shall we say. Second to that, there is Aero. Now, Aero have by far the most aggressive marketing plan and all the rest of it. If you go onto their website, they say they make the absolute best and most accurate bowls ever made. Well, if they did, then everyone would be using them, and they aren't. But heck, they're very good bowls. And so, some of the world's best bowlers do use them. Of course, the absolute top bowlers in the world, they get their bowls free anyway. They're sponsored, they get money. What I'm interested in is world-class bowlers that don't get any money for using them. But anyway, that's that. Aero certainly have pioneered different looks in bowls and tri-coloured and all the rest of it. And the other manufacturers are just catching up with those. So if you want a really cool looking set of bowls, then Aero is probably a good way to go. They are easily the most expensive as well. Okay. Next, you have Taylor's. They're probably the second largest seller of bowls. Oh, sorry, Aero are Australian, just to let you know. Okay. Next are Taylor's, and Taylor's are probably the second largest bowl manufacturer in the world, and certainly are the world's top bowlers, the second most used. And I've got a set of Taylor's here. There they are, Taylor Ace. And there, have you got that there? Because I've just had them retested and stamped. I went to Pershaw, get them retested and stamped. So there we are, that's Taylor's. And yeah, this Scottish company is very well known, and they do very well, and they're very reliable. And then easily the most relied upon make in the world is Henselite. Henselite used to be Scottish, and then they moved to Australia, and here's a Henselite bowl. There we are. A Tiger 2, stamped 27. And they are, you know, more world-class bowlers use Henselite bowls than any other bowl. They did have a bit of a shaky time a few years ago, about 4 years ago, 3 years ago, where they changed factory. So they moved their factory, to one place to another, so supply was greatly interrupted. But now they're, if you like, up to full steam. So that's them. Now let's go back to Taylor's. Okay. There is a bowl called Green Master. Again, started in Scotland, and then they moved to Australia, where the game is incredibly vibrant, and Taylor's bought them out. And I have not seen anyone in the World Championships use them when I went there, for sure. But I mean, there may be some, but certainly Australian champions and New Zealand champions use them. When I played at Grantham over the winter, 2 county players use Green Master. So, I mean, they're very, very good bowls. And in my view, they're the most cost effective for buying, you know, really first class quality bowls, because they're not so fashionable, shall we say. Not so much in the mind, but still absolutely excellent bowls. And then regarding Henselite, there I've got, oh sorry, they have bought out Almark. Does it say Almark on there? Yes, Almark Deluxe. There it is, yeah. And so that is a set of Sterling Kings I've got. And they were its own company, but Henselite bought them out and market them as their, if you like, budget brand. But saying that, I mean, they're excellent quality bowls. So there we are. But they cannot have any of their top world-class players using them, because they prefer people to pay more for bowls with the name Henselite on them. So they're very, very good bowls. With Almark, before they were bought out in the 1980s, they just had one batch of bowls they made with the wrong mix, and so basically they cracked under impact. And so because they made them in the 1980s, that means the stamp on them is the 1990s. So if you look at a set of Almarks and you want to buy them, if they have a stamp of 1990 something, meaning they were made in 1980 something, then just be very, very careful. I bought a set on the internet, and basically one of them just had a big, I don't know, 50 pence size chip came out of it. So, you know, just be very, very careful. That's all I can say regarding that, which is a shame because Almarks with, it was only one batch, which went into all sizes, you know, one mix. But it's a shame because, you know, they're really, really good. So if the stamp is, you know, in the 2000s or whatever, then that is, you know, that's okay. You know, that's a stamp of 2011, so that's fine. So there we are. Okay, I hope that helps. Again, it's my opinions, and other people will have different opinions. Thanks. Bye.